my goodness, folks, please welcome to the Moverb Lounge sessions. Two of my favorite ladies on planet Earth, Deedee Magno Hall and Mylin Stoddard, all things My-Dee.
Hey!
Hi, guys.
What's up?
Hey,
What's
Tony.
up?
It's funny because I already feel like I've infiltrated your show, because to see you guys like side by side, it's been a lot of fun. I'm just so excited about our little conversation here today. When I heard the name, like All Things Mighty, I was like, oh God, like it seemed inevitable. It seemed like so obvious, but at the same time, like, damn it, that's clever and fantastic and just born out of fun and a genuine ageless connection. Is that kind of it? Is that like who hatched the idea? Who pitched it to whom? Okay.
We were going through names and we're just like, that's just this. And we just wanted it to be fun and not super specific. But then I thought, well, what if we did like, Mylin and Deedee, as opposed to like, I was thinking mighty, like mighty, right? And I thought, what about My-Dee? So it's got kind of a mix of mighty and then mighty, right? So
well, of course, no, and it has like a built-in mandate, to like. Right? You can't be half-stepping this. Like, what are we talking about? Let's do this.
Yes, Mylin, I think that you were the one who sort of thought, why don't we do something? We listen to a bunch of podcasts, we see a bunch of shows, and we talk. It actually, I guess if we could say, birthed during the early pandemic days. And Mylin and I were FaceTiming almost every day, just about nothing, just about everything and nothing at the same time. Just checking in, laughing, enjoying each other's company on the interwebs. But Mylin just thought, we should just do a show. We should do a show. And we thought about it and we talked about it early on. But I think during the pandemic, when everything shut down, we just said, we just got to do it. We just got to just do it. Yeah. And then she also came up with the name of the show, which is, I think, just so fun.
It's fantastic. And it is. It's like, and I'm sure we could all kind of carry on about this at length as well. But like the idea that the pandemic was, I kept referring to it as the tapestry of silver linings. It was like this amazing, like, holy cow, it sucked. God, it sucks. But but there's been, and I don't know if it's just because they kind of fell out of the sky, or we were all forced to see it, or because we're creative types that we are prone to look for that and see the creative opportunities that exist. But I've seen a lot of people rise to the occasion during this time, and it's been fantastic and
absolutely,
and something that you now have going forward that wouldn't have happened otherwise, and that's awesome.
Exactly.
Who
I
knows?
totally agree. Right?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, because we weren't, and Deedee had moved too, so we weren't able to see each other like we could before.
Oh, okay.
So she moved, and somehow we were just, I don't know, we just really connected. So
but I wanted to talk about the show, in that, like, obviously the first few episodes, it seemed like you guys there was just a bottomless, like endless stories of nostalgia and things you guys could tell and talk about. And I love the courage and bravery with which you touched upon the post-show stuff, the awkward stuff, the uncomfortable things, the growth and development and all that stuff. That is so much more enjoyable in hindsight for us to touch upon than it is when we're going through it.
Retrospect. Yes.
But as the show carried on, I noticed that it seemed like, okay, wait a minute. Now you're utilizing the strength that you have all grown into in terms of being mothers and wives and creative types and professionals, and having a really profound perspective to share, and bringing on guests that you're able to sort of fish these things out. The guests that you had along, like obviously Jen and Lindsay, but a couple others that I was struck by how, these two really have an intelligent conversation at hand here, and I didn't know if that just kind of naturally happened along the way, or that it just that maybe at some point you guys were like, no, let's this goes to 11. I felt like
Oh,
you could turn it up a bit and really dig deep and have some like, intelligent conversations.
that is so cool of you, Tony, to say that. I mean, because honestly, Dee and I were like, what are we doing? What are we doing with the show? Right. But we we wanted to bring other women in who have had different experiences just so that there was more depth. Like we wanted to show like the struggle and vulnerability. For us, Deedee and I, we don't have a problem with just kind of letting it all out there.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that's benefited us. And we wanted to bring women in who, were also willing to go there.
I think that we hoped to spread a little bit of love, a little bit of light through our show. Also, I think during that time we were seeing a lot of negative things out there in the world, and we wanted to bring a little bit of light, a little bit of something that everybody needs, and not to say that it wasn't out there, that it didn't exist, but we just felt like it was sort of a natural thing for us to do. We were already talking, between the two of us. We were just talking about everything, and we just felt like this was a way that we could sort of bring other people into the conversation, and hopefully through our conversations with our friends and people that we admire and look up to, and we could spread a little bit of joy, a little bit of light, a little bit of love.
It's interesting how that love and light and joy can come out of people talking about things that are not so lovely and light and joyful, and the fact that you guys offer this sort of comfortable corner for folks to kind of open up and tell some things, like, really taking things head on that, I think people that can relate, there's relief in that. There's this great relief in being like, oh, okay, I'm not crazy, and the joy that one can attain from just knowing that they're not alone, and
They're not alone.
that's some powerful stuff.
Thank you.
I also noticed that obviously that there's a female forward aspect of the show, but also a spiritual one. And I know that both of you are super strong in your faith, and have zero qualms about expressing that and sharing that. And again, yet another front on which a lot of people can tend to shy away from. People in the public sphere, they'll either shy away from that or skirt around it. And I see you guys kind of diving headfirst into that. Again, I'm guessing that wasn't something you discussed at length or premeditated. It's just sort of part of what you focus on grows. And if that's kind of where you guys are at, maybe it's no surprise that some of the guests that come through also have that and want to talk about that and go there as well. Is that something you guys had discussed along the way as well?
Well, I think that, like you said, both Deedee and I genuinely live out our Christian faith. And I'll speak for myself. I'm not afraid to speak about it anymore. I think I used to be more so, and maybe more so when I was really engaged in the entertainment industry. And now that I'm not like professionally, pursuing things, I'm just, and I'm older. I'm like, you know what? This is who I am. This is what is this is what gets me through my life. God, Jesus, there's nothing else, and I'm not afraid to say that. And if someone doesn't agree, that's okay. But if you're coming to watch our show, then you're going to hear that here and there. And, and I think Deedee, same with Deedee, I'll let her speak on it, but she shares it as well. And we did not set out like, let's specifically, but like we said, we live it out, and so I think it's kind of immersed in everything that we talk about.
I don't know if you know this, Tony, but Mylin, so I've always been a believer. I grew up, I was born into Catholicism, but Mylin was the one who sort of brought me back to my purpose. You know, she reintroduced me to my faith, and I'm so grateful for that. And that happened early on. That was, you know, when we were, I don't know, 18, 19 years old.
19 when we were living
When
together,
Yeah,
Wow.
when
when
we
we
moved out
just
to
moved
California.
out. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were going to church together. We were, you know, doing some Bible study together a little bit here and there. And throughout the pandemic, she was sort of one of my go-tos to sort of talk with my faith because, like Mylin said, I'm sort of still in the biz, you know,
Mhm.
and I was a little bit hesitant about speaking out about my faith as freely as Mylin or some others have, and not to say that I was ashamed of it, but I really didn't know how it was going to be received. I was worried so much about what everybody else in the world was going to think about what I did and what I said and how I acted, that I was losing focus of
Yeah.
my true purpose. And so, and that sort of encompasses everything. My life as a wife, as a mother, as an
Right.
artist, and
Mhm.
so really
As a
just kind of
friend
coming back
too, right?
as a friend, as a friend,
Yeah.
as a sister,
Yeah.
and as a neighbor, you know. And so I really wanted to get back to God and my purpose in life. It sort of happened naturally, us talking about our faith and sharing our faith, but it was more just two girls, two friends, two best friends, and we're just sharing our life, you
Yeah.
know, sharing our life. And if
Mhm.
people care to chime in, then the more the merrier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
So,
sure, for sure.
Right.
And you know, like, and it's funny. I think one of the most pleasant surprises that I had down at MMC 30 was the Soul Sunday thing, you know, and how much of how it was received. Like, what I don't want to say what an audience there is for that, but like, because it wasn't an audience, it was the people that wanted to
Right.
participate in that. There's people
Right. Right.
that are willing to reciprocate and take part in that sort of thing, and really how well rounded the whole thing was, but how yeah, like it's interesting how artists will tend to shy away from discussing matters of the heart and faith and spirituality when in truth, like, everyone struggles with it. Everyone, and there are more people that will gravitate and relate to that sort of stuff on some level or another. That's like it's right there under your nose the whole time. You know,
Yeah.
all you had to do is just
yeah.
own up to it. Why limit that? And why be embarrassed or ashamed or act like you're not ready to talk about things that govern your day to day?
Right. Right.
So yeah, mad
Mm.
props to both of you
Thank
for
you.
just owning that part of the narrative. I think it's fantastic. Not to switch gears entirely, but to this point, I guess would be the Valentine's Day episode you guys did honoring a tribute to Tiffany, our mutual dear friend who passed, and 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 I, you know, just want to commend you guys on how well you did that. Just handled what is really a delicate conversation, start to finish, every aspect
Mhm.
of it, for sure. But uh, imagine trying to do that at the beginning of your show, you know, the early days of the show versus like several episodes in,
Right.
and not to like minimalize this all down into like production talk at all. I mean, just more so speaking to the bond and the shorthand and the connection that you guys have, and then all of a sudden now you were the perfect, you know, team to
Mm.
host that and present
Thank
that
you.
in the absolute most meaningful way possible. And I just it had to be difficult. It had to be hard to kind of like, okay, we're gonna do this. Let's do this. What were some of the conversations you guys had as a team, and things that you wanted to make sure you were careful about, or really like how to approach that the whole situation?
I think we really just wanted to share our memories of Tiff and how much we love and miss her. And I know that there were probably a lot of people who I know for sure with my returning back to, you know, getting back together with the party. There were a lot of questions about why Tiff couldn't be a part of it. And you know, we wanted to honor her mother's request for privacy, and it wasn't until recently that that Nancy felt comfortable sharing, in hopes that by sharing Tiffany's struggles, that it could lead people to getting the help that they need, that they weren't feeling like they were alone, that they had to do this alone, that they could find ways to get the help that they need to heal. And so we were so honored that Nancy was so gracious to share these messages. Nancy and her brother Michael, that they were not Nancy's brother, Tiffany's brother. Sorry, I just wanted to be clear. That they wanted to share their messages with the world, you know, and those who love and care for Tiff and have always held a special place in their heart for her. So I think that was basically the reason why we wanted to do it, just as a tribute to just share our love and our memories of our dear friend.
Hats off to Deedee, because, you know, throughout most of our years, she has been so just desirous of staying in touch with Nancy. And I think it's been just, I don't know, it's hard for me to express, because we knew Tiffany really well, you know, and we really truly wanted to share just how special she was. And when we had our relationship on the Mickey Mouse Club, like, we had so much fun. I mean, and I feel like you had said in the beginning, you know, she and I were some of her dearest, her closest friends. And we thought, you know, we can't just let this pass by, knowing what she had struggled with, knowing how amazing she was. We just felt, with her mom's permission, we wanted to make a point about mental health. And especially myself, you know, I've expressed this, that I dealt with clinical depression probably 20 some years. I mean, even when I was on the Mickey Mouse Club, I know that I was dealing with depression, but obviously at that point in time, nobody recognized it. Nobody would talk about it, you know, because there was no awareness, you know, and I have benefited from counseling and medication, you know, with the help of medication alongside of prayer and, you know, counseling and books and just doing the work. I am completely free of depression. And I know that that's there for many people. But you have to be willing to be open and allow people to come alongside you, because it is scary. Not everybody needs medication, but when they do, it can change so much of their life and get them on track to a better life. And that's what we were trying to just help put out there. There's no shame. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, especially now with everything that's out there. Like, go get help. I always say, be your own advocate, like, fight for yourself. Even if nobody else does, you go fight for yourself.
Is it NAMI, NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness? They that was the foundation or the platform with which they were getting some insight and help with?
Yes. NAMI was a great deal of help to Nancy and her family during that time. And they continue to help so many people and families. So if anybody was looking for a place to go to receive help. I think they have like a 24-hour hotline. They can go to this organization.
I have to say, yeah, I had the pleasure of opening for you guys down in Orlando for your reunion show, which was like so surreal. We'll talk about that another time as well, because it was just like, wow, this is so awesome. There was a lot of crazy nostalgia just churning through me. But I had
we were like, Tony Lucca's opening up for us. That's amazing. Tony Lucca.
I had the pleasure of watching most of the show with Brandy up in like the crow's nest,
how fun.
like above the stage, looking down on you guys, watching you guys like huff it out. It's great. I was like, oh my God,
sweating.
They're doing it. They're really doing it.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I can't imagine doing that right now.
Oh, I know. Exactly. Exactly.
I thought about just watching you guys, man.
Oh my gosh.
But
we had oxygen tanks on the backstage.
Just like, I mean, imagine me and Brandy both of us just like, it's so great. But it was amazing when you guys did the tribute to Tiffany, and took a minute and played the I Found Love music video, and kind of not surprised, but still caught off guard in the most wonderful way when I saw the reaction of the audience when you came out to address the issue and the matter, and to see like the emotional outpouring, it was so touching. And because I felt for you, because I felt it was great that you were the one who kind of handled that moment and steered that sentiment, and you did it with so much grace and strength. It was really really beautiful and touching, and just again, kudos. I commend you on that strength that you find to do those things.
Praise God. I felt very, very, very weak in that moment. I don't even know how I got through it, but I mean, I know now. I know how I got through it, but yeah, it's been really hard to do all of these wonderful reunions without her, because she was always in the back of my mind, and well, not in the back of my mind. She was always in the front of my mind, the forefront of my mind, and I would text Nancy. I actually texted Nancy right before the show started and told her that we were about to go on stage, and that Tiffany, we were thinking about Tiffany, it's still kind of surreal, that she's not with us anymore. So I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. And like I said, I imagine that this will be a conversation that when any of us gather and connect again, whether it's, for these information entertainment purposes of podcasts and live streams, or it's just in person, we'll be talking about Tiff and her legacy for years to come. And but again, just really really grateful that you guys took the time on Valentine's Day, no less. What a beautiful way to celebrate that. I am, suffice to say, obviously a big fan of all things My-Dee, and I happily return the favor should the schedule open up when you guys start to,
You'll be our first. Wait, maybe our husband's first, and then you'll be our second.
Yeah. We should do the husband's episode. That would be
male.
Good. That would be good. That'd be
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Is there a release cycle rhythm sort of thing you guys try to adhere to? Or is it just
when we can
when
juggle
we
the
feel like
kids
it,
and make sure the puppy doesn't poop on the floor. And
Finish the laundry and the dishes, and then the meal preps.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
pay the
Make sure the kids are clean and fed.
Guys,
I think we're working on. I mean, that's the funny thing about like being moms, and it's wonderful, right? Like you're not a mom, but you see your wife like just dealing with the family and then trying to like get these little shows in. Like, that's why when they're at school, I'm like, yes, I can actually do something, you know? And that's when Deedee and I will do our little thing. Like, as soon as they're off to school, you know, we're like, okay, let's try to get it as much as we can,
Yeah.
you know, and then we shut it down. And I'm like, all right, because we live right behind my kid's school. So I'm like, all right, I'll see you soon. I'm gonna go pick up my kid.
Done.
Yes.
But okay, so all of the social media, and you guys have a specific YouTube channel for it.
Yes.
And then you're both respective social media platforms.
Yeah.
That's where folks can.
YouTube, the All Things My-Dee show. Just type it in, and it's my dash DEE, not mighty, but My-Dee.
Mighty. That's mighty catty, yeah. Yeah, folks, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Get the notifications for when they do. You will be the lucky recipient of a notification that says, hey, game on. Time to tune into All Things Mighty. I love you both so much, and I'm so grateful for your time and energy, and just keep putting your beautiful spirit out there, and it will be no surprise to me what comes back to you in return.
Oh, thank you. We love you too, Tony. Thank you so much for having us on. It's just awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Deedee and Mylin, give it up. All right, you guys.
God bless you guys.